In the early hours of January 26th, a covert military operation was set in motion as part of the larger Operation Rough Seas. This mission, designated Objective Eyesight, called for precision, coordination, and unparalleled bravery. Intelligence reports indicated that Iranian forces had stationed several Silkworm missile batteries near the remote desert area of Tiror, capable of threatening the US and Allied ships in the area. The mission began with the deployment of Marine Corps Special Operations Command MARSOC teams via rigid-hulled inflatable boats launched from an offshore amphibious assault ship. Under the veil of night, they approached Hormuz Island undetected, navigating the choppy waters and avoiding Iranian coastal patrols. Once ashore, the MARSOC team swiftly secured a strategic location on the island's rugged terrain. Working tirelessly through the night, they established a forward operating base complete with communications equipment, landing zones, and defensive perimeters. Every movement was calculated. Silence was their ally, and there was no time to waste. At dawn, two OH-58D Kiowa helicopters from the NA 33rd 17th Combat Aviation Brigade's 4th Banshee Squadron, equipped with rocket pods and two Hellfire missiles, launched from the forward operating base. They flew low and fast across the strait toward the missile sites. The mission would require both helicopter crews to fly behind enemy lines and avoid being engaged, while at the same time searching for and eventually destroying the Silkworm battery.
Yeah, copy that. Follow your route. I'm sort of heading around that far side, so I'm still going to be deep, but that's it.
It was decided that each Kiowa would approach the area of operations from a different direction. Banshee 1-1 would approach from the south, enter the search area, and sweep the area in an ever-tightening counterclockwise turn. Simultaneously, Banshee 1-2 would approach from the northwest and do the same in a clockwise turn. The hope was that by searching in this way, locating the missile site could be expedited.
1 copies. You have a radar indication west of your position.
The mission was not without its complications. 10 minutes after taking off, Banshee 1-1 had to return to base due to mechanical issues with the Kiowa. This meant Banshee 1-2 was effectively alone behind enemy lines and would have to search for the Silkworm site on their own until Banshee 1-1 could return. Thankfully, the ground crews at the forward operating base were able to determine the problem and replace the faulty part quickly, allowing Banshee 1-1 to return to the mission with only a slight delay. What, if any, effect this would have on the search for the Silkworm battery was unknown.
Banshee 2-1 is airborne.
Meanwhile, Banshee 1-2, now deep behind enemy lines, continued to evade Iranian detection and search for the missile battery. After what must have seemed like an excruciatingly long time, Banshee 1-1 was now back on station. Banshee 1-2, having continued his search, detected what he believed could possibly be the missile battery. The coordinates were sent to Banshee 1-1, and they altered course to join with Banshee 1-2 in order to investigate. By this time, Operation Rough Seas was fully underway. Large-scale fighting was taking place throughout the Straits of Hormuz as NA 33rd Air, Ground, and Naval forces, as well as those of NATO allies, clashed with IRGC forces across the region. The pilots of Banshee flight knew that now the IRGC would be actively searching the skies for hostile aircraft, and should they be seen, they would be shot down on sight. The Kiowa pilots were also keenly aware that the IRGC has a bad reputation when it came to prisoners of war. After about 45 minutes, command finally got the information they had been waiting for. Banshee flight had located the Silkworm battery and were preparing to engage and destroy it. This information couldn't have come at a better time. The Kiowas, being small light attack and scout recon helicopters, had nearly exhausted their fuel supplies and would have to quickly destroy the missile site and then head to a clandestine rearming and refueling site that had been set up by local rebel forces working in conjunction with NATO Special Operations teams. At this point, Banshee flight went to work. Banshee 1-2, being the first to locate the missile site, quickly racked up 3 confirmed kills on the missile launchers and also eliminated the crews preparing them for launch. Banshee 1-1 arrived on scene just as Banshee 1-2's fuel warning indicators began to go off. The target coordinates were transferred to Banshee 1-1 as Banshee 1-2 departed the area for the rendezvous point.
Banshee 1 readback 40 Romeo Delta Romeo 93482742.
Banshee 1-1 destroyed 2 more missile launchers being prepared and the Silkworm radar dish, effectively rendering any remaining missiles useless as they could not detect any targets to fire upon. With their mission complete, Banshee 1-1 departed the area and headed towards the rendezvous location, where the rebels would be waiting to help rearm and refuel the Kiowas. Objective Eyesight had been a complete success. By using a combination of planning, stealth, and tactics, the NA 33rd Command was able to ensure that the IRGC Silkworm missile site was taken out of action before it had a chance to cause any problems for the Allied naval forces operating in the area. Banshee flight had proven themselves to be an invaluable asset as their light attack scout recon helicopters and well-trained crews proved to be more than up to the challenge. As with all the squadrons of the NA, 33rd 17th Combat Aviation Brigade, there would be more missions and more operations to come, and the men and machines of 4th Banshee Squad would be sure to be mission ready.